Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Casey Screams Back. Thanks for checking out this video. Today we're talking about the top 3 tips for 2021 when it comes to being a content creator. These are things that I've learned over the years, things that I'm trying to be better at in my life, things that we're putting into practice that I'm sometimes good at and sometimes not, just being honest. Number 1 is if you're thinking about starting a YouTube series, YouTube video, or starting streaming, or even writing a book, or developing a game, or whatever you want to do, a really big factor in actually doing it is actually starting. Like, you have to actually start. And this right here is kind of an example of it, because I've been wanting to do videos about like self-care and mental health for content creators for a long time, and I keep kind of stalling, but I finally realized, man, I just need to start. This isn't perfect, my background isn't great, but here we are. And this video is going to exist where if I would have just continued to try and make things perfect and have the perfect plan before I started, it just never would have happened. So if you're thinking about starting something, just get started. Get the minimal stuff that you need in order to get going and start. Not a lot of people are going to remember your very first video or stream, and even if they do, it's okay if it kind of sucks to begin with, because guess what? You're just starting. Tip number 2 is to keep things simple. A lot of the time, if you're like me, you like to overcomplicate basically everything, especially creative stuff. If I want to make a game, I want to make it a huge game series. If I want to make a YouTube video, it has to be like this incredible cinematic masterpiece. If I'm going to stream, I have to have 15 different cameras and they all have to be the best quality and everything. You just don't need any of that. And this kind of goes back to our first tip of actually starting, because keeping it simple makes it a lot easier to actually start, and especially to continue doing it on a regular basis. Most content you need to put out somewhat regularly. The more complicated it is, the less likely you are to be able to muster up that motivation and all the energy that it takes to set up something complicated. So if it's a YouTube video, it could just be talking to the camera like this. If you want to do a tutorial about a game or something, just capture your game and talk over it. And do that for the first videos and make sure that you like it before you start spicing it up. Tip number 3 is to have a system. This is one of the most important things, I think, for a content creator. The difference between a content creator who actually makes stuff and is actually successful versus somebody who just kind of thinks about it and doesn't really do anything is that they have a system. Now, what do I mean by system? I mean something set up to make it easier for you to do the things on a regular basis that you need to do. For some people, that can be just making a calendar and planning what day to do what thing. For some people, it can be a prep day. It's getting all of your scripts and everything ready for whatever you're going to make on Monday and planning on actually working on it and doing it on Tuesday. This has been really helpful for me. I have a day where I plan things and I have a specific time that I plan all the specific things that I'm doing, and then I end up actually doing the work once it's prepped another day. It can be having a corner of your house that is set up for content creation, so you don't have to set up your camera and set up lights and do everything in the world every single time that you shoot a YouTube video. This is a really huge one because everybody needs a system of some kind, whether it's just saying I'm going to do something at a certain time, planning out how to do it, getting all of your materials ready. All of that stuff is just like one less thing that you have to do once you actually sit down to make whatever you're going to make. So those are my 3 tips for 2021, making content nice and simple, right? It's one of the things. I actually started, I kept it simple, and well, I mean, I'm working on the system. It's a thing. Here's more videos on mental health and content creation, that kind of thing. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, because that'd be nice. That would be nice, because then we could hang out more, and I like hanging out more. Hanging out more is fun. It's true. Scientifically true. Science.